have said it.
All right, no, take it away.
Divot. We're here gathered in this cult meeting to discuss important issues of government control, population management, and of course, casual racism.
Yes, as we always are.
I wasn't expecting you guys to put me on the spot like that. I was too busy looking at the lights the lights on my wall.
I kind of am too.
Oh, look,
it's like watching a lava lamp.
I'll take care of this. All right? Everyone, I'll put my burrito down.
The resident YouTuber do it.
Do you suffer from erectile dysfunction?
Dude, don't call me out
do
like
I
that,
have
man.
the potion for you.
Yeah, I got the potion for you. We're here to talk about several topics that I don't currently know, but you can imagine they're frightening. The reason you need to listen to this entire podcast on audio is the same reason why, if you do listen to this entire podcast and then like, comment, and subscribe, you will not be hunted by the government.
Do it.
The spirits.
Do it. Do it.
Gentlemen, take it away.
You keep saying that.
Welcome back to the Brown Nosers podcast.
I don't take any responsibility.
It's been approximately. It's been a long time since we recorded. It's been a month and a half. We put out an episode a couple weeks
Christmas
ago.
break.
At this point, I don't know when this episode will come out. Hopefully, this
Probably
week.
Sunday, because I can edit this quick now.
Sunday.
So I'll release it Sunday. Same time, Silopathic is going to come out. Shameless plug for Silopathic's new channel. He does old gaming videos that people used to watch and used to be popular, but now are not, and no one watches.
Hey, everything
However,
has a comeback.
He does do some fire. Yeah, he does do some fire bits, I will say. That one scene where you were piloting the Jedi and landing on Geonosis.
Yep.
And in the front seat.
Gunship, boys.
Yeah.
I do green screen magic tricks according to this hat.
So you need to go watch some General Sam. He does some of the best. No, he does some of the best green screen on the planet, and you can get some inspiration from him. And also General Sam, if you watch this for some strange reason, I'll come on Forehead Fables. I know I'm the most interesting of my group. You don't have to give me all that praise.
Lie.
I
got 200,000 subscribers.
I've seen it. I've seen the numbers. They're out there.
Don't lie.
So I want to know how you have half the likes that I have on TikTok, and more subs or more followers.
I paid for bots.
Oh.
No, I'm kidding. I couldn't tell you.
I didn't know they had bots back when you were a TikTok guy.
I think 6-year-olds, they didn't, but I think the 6-year-olds don't know how to like videos. So they're like, I'll just follow him instead.
Well, you have to have an account to. No, you have to have an account to follow also. So.
Well, me getting back on TikTok 3 days ago was very successful. I ran about 250,000 views and 60,000 likes on my first video back since who knows when. I can't even remember the last time I posted.
Which one was that? Because I see your videos, but I don't see the order in which they come out. They just get, they come up.
It was the Waking Up on Monday one where I'm in the
with all the twisted tees.
Yeah,
yeah, that was a good one. I felt that in my soul.
I know that's what all the comments were like.
Your quality is so good. Your quality is like my bits, but just constant fire.
Oh, they're about to get better because I'm about to make them through Fusion. I'm about to start a whole bit.
Empire.
A whole scheme.
I'm about to start putting my bits on TikTok and seeing how they do.
Absolutely, because your one that you did with YouTube Shorts was successful.
Oh yeah, the gunship one.
Yeah.
Did you see my newest one? The gold leader standing by, green leader standing by.
Yes, I saw that one. What was it, brown leader?
No, it was. For mine, I was like 87,000 IRS agents.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all know they got canceled, right?
The IRS,
yeah.
Really? Who shut down the IRS?
Of course,
the IRS has been shadow banned for years.
No, they just canceled the part where they get 87,000.
Got their asses.
And also, Illinois is now an oppression state. Yeah, they just said you can't buy assault weapons.
Assault
Take
weapons.
their assault weapons from them.
So now, you can't buy them, or you can't own them, or you can't.
If you own them, you have to register them with the state, and if you can no longer buy them or pistols.
Explain to me what an assault weapon is, please.
An assault weapon is anything that, I guess, looks like it could assault you.
A butter knife.
Just wait till they realize that 90% of deaths are in the United States is caused on the road. You're gonna try and ban cars.
So is a combat knife an assault weapon?
It depends. If you killed somebody with it,
did you assault somebody with it?
Yeah. Hey, no comment.
I abstain from this question.
This wizard has to.
There's a cop in our midst.
A little dirty trick.
Yeah, or a former cop.
I mean, current, but not anywhere inside my jurisdiction.
So let's talk about when something goes wrong at work and you have to point the blame at somebody else. What is the most effective way to cover your own ass when you get busted for something stupid?
I hit him with this maneuver right here. What is that?
Wow.
And I act like I'd never seen it before in my life, and I'm the one that just did it 30 seconds earlier.
You mean somebody forgot to lock the door and set the security codes and everything's stolen? Who would do that?
Hear me out. I walk out of the scene and I walk back into it and then report myself like Among Us. It's broken! Somebody broke this in my bay!
Listen, guys, I may have left all the doors unlocked and left the security system disarmed, but that guy right there has been sexually harassing all the other ones.
He's been lighting things on fire.
Have you seen his TikTok page?
He stole from the government. The greatest crime of all.
I don't really know what I do to cover my own ass. I'll say this: I cover my own ass by not being the low man of the totem pole, and that's just common sense.
Well, like if you mess up, somebody like dies. So
every day, some people die anyways.
Yeah, but it's fine as if you don't mess up, it was natural causes.
Well, not necessarily natural causes. I don't think a bullet through the brain is too natural, but it wasn't me.
Yeah, it is.
Austin, have you ever accidentally killed somebody yet?
No. I accidentally saved somebody's life, actually. True story. I accidentally saved somebody's life.
I did.
No, so we get a call for at a nursing home for a cardiac arrest, and we get there, and she's full coated, like her heart's not beating or anything. And a lot of those places they have DNRs, do not resuscitate, and the nurse says she's not a DNR, so we start CPR, start breathing for her, get a pulse back, get her O2 saturation up, and we got her back to life and kept her alive. And then we get to the hospital, and her family gets there like, yeah, she's on a do not resuscitate. And we might have resuscitated her.
So what's the whole point of the DNR? Like, why would you not want to be resuscitated?
If you're old and you just want to die.
Yeah, that's basically
what?
It. Yeah, there's some weird laws around it though. So if you're on a DNR, if you're old, it's usually do not resuscitate for cardiac arrest and maybe some other things too. But if they get in a car accident going to the grocery store, then that's not covered by their DNR. So you still treat the injuries.
First off, who's letting them drive?
Second,
maybe they have dementia and they stole their son's car or something.
No, when is it no longer why is there not an age limit on your driver's license? I mean, you got to be 16 to drive. Why should a 100-year-old person be allowed to drive?
Some of them are more competent than these 16-year-olds, but I'll say most of them are not.
Yeah, but we're talking about.
I pit maneuver everyone that's over the age of 70. If I see them on the road.
Dude, they have those new things for pit maneuvers now. Those they're kind of like nets of ratchet straps that shoot out and grab the tire. It's pretty cool.
Let's see the looks on their faces when I do it backwards.
No, the old-fashioned way. You drive up next to their window, side by side. You hit them with that full-auto AK-47.
The Draco. Can you imagine if all cops were issued a Draco?
Oh man.
No, fully automatic AA-12 out the window, as much damage as physically possible. You just clear that whole car out. They're trying to line the back window, to pull up next to him, and line the front.
It's like that scene in Sicario where he's trying to get away, and they keep pulling up on him to try and Uzi him down, but he keeps throwing hand grenades at him. So like they'll get close, and they'll think they're good, and like a hand grenade lands in the passenger seat, and they like slam on the brakes to try and get it out.
I just watched Scario the other day, and that movie is like brutal.
It's amazing.
Which one is it? I don't know if I've seen it. Is it older?
Nah, yeah,
The American government trying to retake over the drug cartel.
Yeah, it's the CIA fighting the drug cartel. And it's got Emily Blunt in it.
No.
Well, the scene where they're stuck in traffic, and all the Delta Force guys are like choked up on their tinted out windows, and they're like, as soon as they make a move, weapons free. I'm like, oh shit, this is a firefight in traffic.
They got Delta guys perfect, like absolutely perfect in that movie.
Really?
That is exactly what they're like in real life, except they're not that big. I've never seen a Delta guy that's over like 5'8".
Yeah, they're all 5'8" and 210 pounds.
Yeah. And they're like the midget squad.
Mm-hmm.
Well, apparently that's peak physique.
It
5'8"?
is for tier 1 operators.
If you want to have as much options as a person in the military, the most options you can have is if you're 5'8". Pilots can't be too tall. Helicopter pilots can't be too tall.
It's getting better. The F-35s you can be taller than, but the I can't remember if it was the F-22s or F-16s. They had a height cap. I don't know, but it's taller than what it used to be. So I used to be too tall to be, I think, an F-16 pilot, but I'm tall enough to be a 35, if I'm not mistaken, or at least a 22. I'm not quite sure. One of those, I think it's the
you gotta be. I think they're less worried about being tall for F-22 pilots and more worried about, are you going to ruin this $200 million machine?
Right.
Yeah, this piece of art. Now,
yeah, you're really good at flying the F-22 at your 6'5". You can scrunch over a little bit, right? Please don't crash this thing.
Well, we still use all those aircraft, even though we have the newer ones. We still use F-16s, but they're being phased out slowly but surely. That's what one of our airfields has, their mission set. But we got the new ship.
When's the Space Force getting their first ship?
Dude,
that's what I gotta wonder.
Dude, I don't know, man. Maybe they already do.
It
We don't know about
named
it.
like the Pillar of Autumn or.
Oh,
yeah,
gosh.
I want to see the Star Citizen ship like pull up and they're like, oh yeah, Air Force is spending 1.5 billion on these like crusty ass things. Dude's got like ion technology laser guns.
That's all
we all just gonna
maybe, man. You guys ever watch us? You guys watch Stargate, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, they had those ships that they built for the Earth fleet, and nobody knew about them, and it was pretty cool.
Yeah, but they got bodied like every time they went out.
They had to always get help from some higher force or different group, or anytime trouble was on Earth, they could not handle that shit.
They were like practically useless.
No, that was a really good show. I like that show. I should go back and watch it.
So did that, like the ships in Halo too. Like,
same thing. The
ships in Halo
UNSC
did not do
was
well.
really outclassed.
It's like a movie where the humans were actually like superior. Was Ender's Game.
Oh yeah. Well,
the humans bodied everybody.
It was just Ender and
true.
the master. They needed him because they were hive mind. I've read that book a lot, like several times, and I've seen the movie. One of my favorites.
It is a very good movie. I haven't read the book yet.
When I say read, you think I know how to read? I listen to that shit. I'm an Audible fiend.
Oh my god! I just finished listening to a book called The Creature The Creature of Jekyll Island. No, The Creature from Jekyll Island.
I feel like I've heard of it.
It's that our family used to own Jekyll Island back in the day. Yeah.
What? Wait, you're a Canadian family or like
no,
American
the
family?
Brocks.
The Blacks. The good old Brocks.
Well, not the Brocks, technically. The Pronto.
The Pronto. And there were also pirates or privateers.
Where is the treasure?
Well, it was used to
No. Don't dox the treasure, no.
Yeah, it was used to buy Jekyll Island.
So you guys been doing? Who was doing the? Was Silas? Was it you doing the ancestry stuff? Or was that you, Noah?
Silas was doing I was doing the ancestry stuff before Silas was, unbeknownst to him. But that was mainly just the history of Jekyll Island, and Silas went deep in all directions.
I traced our lineage back to 1509.
Dang.
Allow me to show you where it leads.
For the emperor!
Oh, hail the emperor! No, our lineage on our dad's side is Finnish and Polish.
Ugh.
On our mom's side, Le France. German.
What are the highlights? Who are the mass murderers? Who are the
Probably
entrepreneurs?
big. What is it? What is his name? Bergon. Bergon. Bergon, the pirate.
Pirate Jekyll.
Yeah, the pirate of Jekyll. He was probably killed the most people.
He's got to, bro. He's a pirate. He's got to be bodying people daily.
Yeah.
Then he sold Jekyll Island to Albert Aldrich as a private hunting lodge, and that's where they manufactured the Federal Reserve. He might.
So we own the Federal Reserve.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The
You
last.
hear that, ladies? We're
The
loaded.
last
IRS.
Bergon.
I'll just print more money.
The last Bergon was present for this creation of the Federal Reserve. I find that fascinating.
Indubitably.
And that's our direct lineage on mom's side. Except for
So?
Papa, he's just a redneck.
he's
Enough of our
he's
lineage,
part
Dylan.
native.
Yeah.
Enough of our lineage.
I
Let's
think.
get to the meat and potatoes of this whole argument today.
Yeah, this is a very heated argument.
What
Austin?
argument?
Austin, take it away.
Yes, the argument of this is good. What came first, the chicken or the egg? I had to do a whole presentation on this for 2 minutes, and I
2 minutes.
made
Since
people
when?
laugh. I made people cry. In a leadership symposium I went to.
You in leadership, please.
Ah man, I'm out there.
You're on the DNR list, bro.
Yes, I'm on the dude. So there is a DNA list in our unit, which is do not arm, and I'm proud to say I am not on that list. I can have firearms. Some people do not
You
have
like
that.
caboose?
Yeah, I'm
So
caboose.
are you a military
Blanks.
doctor or just a
No. I'm a civilian EMT. I'm a military police.
policia?
I'm the policia in the United
The
States.
whole
of
reason why I
America.
asked that question earlier about getting out of dumb stuff that you do at work by blaming other people is because that's what happened to me, and I was going to tell the story about it.
Send
Oh.
it. Send it.
After that nice tangent we just pulled, back to the real story. Noah, take it away.
Yeah, just take it away from this argument.
ADHD Naruto style rabbit hole chasing stint over. Back to the original point. We had an inspection, or I had an inspection, because I am now the hazmat rep for my company. And so I'm in charge of all the hazmat materials and storage and disposal and stuff. And it's a very, there's a lot of potential to be arrested if literally anything is wrong. And so I fixed everything myself. I hid all of our materials in different spots around the bay. It was perfect. Like no one was ever going to find them. And then I left for the morning, the day of the inspection, to go do something. I can't remember what it was. But then I came back, and I went and sat in my office and waited for the inspectors because I didn't think that anyone was going to do anything completely, like, just utterly stupid in the time that it took me.
Unbeknownst to them.
Yeah, unbeknownst to me, the stupidity was happening. Like the resident idiot went into our paint booth and started just hand fucking stuff with the with all the doors open. It's like a fully ventilated paint booth, and it's supposed to be like shut. All the air is filtered before it goes outside, and he was in there just going to town with all the doors open. Paint thinner, just like a 5-gallon jug of paint thinner right on top of the drains that he was using to mix stuff in. And so it was like, oh my God. So when they walked in, it's like, are y'all dumping this paint thinner out? And I was like,
No.
are y'all dumping
No,
the paint
sir.
thinner in the drains?
We would
So-
never.
Yeah, and so I'm like looking at this absolute mess. Not to mention there was about $1 million in fines stuffed behind the paint booth in the form of empty aerosol cans, all hidden. They're supposed to be disposed of in a very specific way, and they were just throwing them
That's
behind the
so
paint
comfortable.
booth. So I had to go clean them out and then hide them. But I'm sitting there, and they're like, "This is like a state level infraction. We're going to have to call environmental control down here. And I was like, oh, I'm just the A/ for this post, actually. I don't even have an appointment letter for this position yet. That's the guy you're looking for right there. And they all look at him, and then he points at Battalion Hazmat and goes, hey, this isn't my problem. That's their problem. I get out in a week, so, if you get me in trouble, I do not, I'm not going to see it because I'm just going to leave. And so they pointed at Base Hazmat, and Base Hazmat is just like backing out of the room slowly.
They're like, we don't see anything.
You're gonna be the next Camp Lejeune water lawsuit. It's gonna all come back to this. Did you or your family serve at Camp Lejeune from 1950 to 1984? You could be entitled to millions.
Some bimbo was dumping paint thinner in the drains.
Into the water supply.
Straight in.
It's just a picture of Noah pointing at somebody else.
Oh, wait, you guys don't have that one guy that was in your unit that was a shitbag, or maybe he wasn't a shitbag, but just his name's on all the paperwork, so you blame him for everything because his name was on everything.
That was Corporal Davenport, but there's a staff sergeant. Oh, actually, I probably should say. I'm like, he's gone. There's two dudes with the same name, and they're and one's a corporal and one's a staff sergeant, and the corporal's name is on all the paperwork, but everyone just assumes that the staff sergeant has been around the whole time, so they blame him for everything.
We had the same situation. We had a Sergeant Young, and it's fine. I don't think these names are too much important, but he used to be on all the paperwork and a lot of stuff. But then he got out like a while ago, and then we had another Sergeant Young come into the unit. And I don't think anything bad ever happened from it, but it was always funny because he'd get called in the office for something, and he'd be like, I don't know. Check the date on that. That was 14 years ago, Mass Sergeant. Oh, yeah, good to go, Devil. Rah.
That's how it was on the range. Of course, the Marine Corps was such a different place back then because you didn't have to sign anything out. Like now you have to sign out like MREs and stuff. But we used to go, when I worked on the range, we would just go pick up the ammo from the magazine, scribble some stuff on a piece of paper that no one knew how to fill out, and then we would hand it to our gunny who ran the range. And you'd be like, yeah, I'll report this up at the end of the day. Oh, yeah, don't worry, guys, I got this. But we didn't know what we were doing. We grabbed 6 cases and then walked them down to the range. And so there was no accountability. So, of course, I probably shouldn't say this.
Y'all were practicing. Just leave it at that.
Yeah, this is entirely a hypothetical situation.
Indubitably.
No. Stealing from the government is the highest crime known to man. Yeah.
We can find a lot of guys for stealing
assassinated
shit.
by the CIA.
There was one guy who was who made I think $160,000 more recently, but he was going to Dermo, driving into the Dermo parking lot, picking up the expended brass, and then going and selling it to junkyards. But eventually, after he had made about $100,000, they got suspicious. So it's like, where is he getting all this brass from? And it's really easy to see, like on federal rounds, you can see the lot number. So it's really, really, really easy to see like where they're coming from. So they did a sting operation, and I got to witness it. It was pretty funny.
Yeah, we had guys.
They're hating on that boy, man.
Stealing stuff from Dermo, we can find a lot of guys from that. So like Dermo is basically you can probably explain it better than I can.
Yeah, it's just like where you give back all of your expenditure for ranges and stuff.
It's not just rounds. There's like equipment and stuff and
if anything breaks. Yeah, if anything breaks,
things expire.
They all go to Dermo
like broken computers go to Dermo, and people would go and get like I don't know what's valuable in the broken computers, like maybe the processing core, motherboards. I don't know.
It's basically
this shit
recycling.
On a laptop.
Yeah, it's like it's recycling.
Military recycling.
Yeah.
But then you also have like live ammo and stuff that goes to Dermo, and so you gotta
the amnesty boxes.
Hey, where's this Dermo at?
Those amnesty boxes always seem so weird to me.
So here's a funny story about Dermo. Back in good old 2-9 and 1st Tank Battalion, they would give the tankers way too much ammo, and they couldn't use it all without melting their like machine gun barrels. Yeah. And there was no way that they're firing You know, they would get like 3 full sets of ammo, which I think on the Abrams is like 60 rounds. And you cannot fire that, period. So they'd be like just going through the desert with 50, 60,000 rounds of 50 cal ammo. Just like we'd be sitting up on top of our like perches and our hills because we were a cat team. So we were basically like observation. So we would just sit up there with our 96 power optic, zoom in on them, and we could see like the hatch open, and you see a little lance corporal. You like pop, you like. Just comes in with another 50 cal can, and then like a whole tank round, just like throwing it off in the desert. So you would see it just like a trail of ammo, and then we'd go behind them and just pick it up.
That's hilarious. I imagine 29 Palms looks exactly like the movie Holes. I've never been out there, but
it looks like it looks like Mad Max, like
okay,
like to the T.
That's fair. It was probably filmed out there, dodging real artillery fire.
I think it was a movie that was filmed out there. Was The Hills Have Eyes?
Oh, was it really?
Hills Have Eyes. Yeah, it was filmed in Amboy.
I haven't seen any of that.
That's an old. I don't think I've seen all of it either. It's pretty disturbing.
Yeah, it's
psychological thriller.
So I went camping out there with a bunch of my buddies. If for those of you who don't know what Amboy is, it is a little desert town with a bunch of cave systems up in the hills. There's like a lot of legends. Like, of course, the Hills Have Eyes was filmed there, so that adds to the stigma, I guess. But there's like a sacrificial altar there, and everyone thinks it's human. But then there's the bushes change color at night due to some phenomena. But it's really creepy if you don't know what's going on because you'll just watch these like rainbow bushes as you're driving through. And of course you speed up to try and get away. But we went camping out there thinking, oh, it's not that bad. And then the people started coming out of the caves in the mountains and like watching us from just beyond our campfire.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to pass on that one.
They were in like rags too. There's like not a word spoken. They're just like there watching us. And we're like, well, we should probably go camp closer to the crater. That might be safe. There are people over there.
Is there a meteorite crater?
Yes. Actually, I think it's a volcano. I think it's actually. It looks like a straight up impact crater.
Boom.
But it's either a volcano or a meteorite crater. I can't remember.
There's a giant one in Arizona that I want to go into. With
the big one.
That was way too good of a two-stroke sound.
Thank you.
That was perfect. It's like you let the air out of the balloon.
Silence is two-stroke. That thing.
Hey,
that's your new rapper name. Two-stroke.
You got the right line, didn't you know?
Yeah, I wrote it and it killed me, or it tried to kill me like 6 times.
I'm telling you, there's no power and you're just like, it's like, and then you try to get it gas.
This is exactly what riding that thing is like. All right, ready? Are y'all ready?
It's like you're riding an 80-year-old with bad flatulence.
It's like no power up to about 70% throttle, and then it is 150% power for the last 30%.
Look,
so
I was trying to go up the parents' driveway, and I was like, going down the hill, trying to get a little gas before I get up the hill. And I was like, come on, why is it not going? I'm doing a wheelie while going up a hill. So my balance is on the back, and I'm about to fall off the back of this thing. And I ramped the top of the hill with the bike like half sideways. So I was like, losing control.
It is literally like it is like riding a flag in a hurricane.
Yes. And that bike it weighs 170 pounds.
And it's 6 feet off the ground.
Which bike was this?
I have a YZ.
Oh, your
125 modded.
Yeah.
Now, this is a dirt bike.
Oh, it was? When did you have that?
I still have it.
You still got it, yeah.
Really?
It's a YZ 125 weight chopped extended racing fast lap shocks, so I can go up any hill on the planet and just. I fell off our parents' front hill, and you know that bad boy is like gone.
Yeah, that shit's fucking a cliff.
Fast. And I went off it too fast, and I was like, you go down and you push down the bike to like absorb the hill. Except I missed the hill. I just
You landed at the
I'm
bottom.
like, I'm dead. I'm about to eat these bars and just. Oh, thank God, these nice shots.
Dude, hearing that sound when you bottom out shocks is like, it's one of the worst sounds you can hear.
I do remember Silas having to push the bike back probably 1.5 miles.
Yeah, it's because my idler screw would vibrate and
Yeah.
move itself, and then I have to move it.
He
back
literally
and
had to push the thing back to the house.
I did. I've had to work on that. Like,
Of course, that's
so many times.
nothing.
Even now, my float bowl right now is jammed closed, so the bike all jammed open. So if you turn the fuel switch on, it just floods instantly and starts draining out the tubes. And then if you hit the float bowl with a hammer, it stops. And then you hit one more ramp, and then it starts.
So you're riding around. This is like polo. You got these little switches, except you have a hammer for your dirt bike. You're like, ting, 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 ting. While you're riding around. Actually,
Every
neither way
time
you
that
left
bad
hand.
boy starts to bog, I just reach down, then it's fine.
Dude, what you need to do, since you're a mechanic, you need to put a suicide shifter on your dirt bike.
What is that?
That's like you ever see like the Harley guys where they got their feet like propped up on pegs
Oh,
that way
they're
too
being
far,
locked
and they have
into it?
they have the,
The shifter
handle
has-
that's like.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, that's a suicide shifter.
Oh God! Okay, I thought you were talking about. I saw a shifter where it goes up over your boot and under your boot at the same time.
That sounds
that is the worst shit.
Stupid as fuck.
Super fast.
Like, it's easier to grip, instead of having to put your foot up under and then prop it up to go up and then over and then down.
Oh
They
my
just
God.
they're stagnant. I'm like,
What
God
if gas
bless.
pedals had the same shit? You had to take your foot out of the little boot and put it in the boot for the brake.
No, that's the reason I don't like bicycles.
What?
Because my little brother Solomon, as you know,
Never met him.
who is
Who is this guy? I don't think we've ever talked about him before.
wonderful, amazing man, the light of my life. What an amazing young man. He was trying to explain that when you're going down a hill on a bicycle, like a quality road bike, your feet, it's like a snowboard. Your shoes are locked into those pedals. So you can have up force and down force as you're pedaling.
Yeah.
You wreck, your shit's still in that fucking bike. So
Yeah.
you want to jump off. Oh no, roll. Psych.
I'm sure you saw
bottom half of
Commander
you
in
is
Chief
going.
fall off a bicycle trying to stop from that same little foot booty.
No, that's just vile. Like, why would I want to be strapped into a bicycle?
I don't know what the purpose is. I'm sure there is one. I guess
Apparently,
so. You don't like
somebody who
come off
bikes
the
could
peg.
probably tell us.
Yeah.
I think it's so you can provide as much up as you can down, which you think you'd just be push like a normal pedal bike.
I don't know. I think
But
Solomon
guess
had a problem with that.
100 miles in. What do you mean?
There was
Getting
one
it up?
time when he was riding over a wooden bridge.
Oh, the grass.
He was riding over a wooden bridge, and he was strapped into his bike. Hold on, give me a second.
No.
Chew your ice, bro.
It's not ice, it's Skittles, bitch.
Make eye contact while you're chewing. I can't. It's too big. He's gotten too much into the dark side.
So anyway, he was going over a wooden bridge, but the planks were parallel to him. So he was riding
fell in
over
the
it,
grooves.
and he fell into the groove, but he was strapped into the bike, so he didn't fall over. He just went straight. All that weight just went straight forward.
Oh my god.
That's fucking funny.
I can't imagine how bad that would hurt.
And then he did something weird with a car and a curb.
He's the one. Solomon should have a GoPro on him at all times.
Yeah, he's always.
I think I would watch 100% of his life because he tries to be so mundane, relaxed, and just have a normal life, but everything bad happens to him.
No, he
He's just
puts
driving
himself
home
in.
from work.
Like, I was grilling him about his accident on the way down to Bama, and it went from that light was definitely green. And they're just like, I'm pretty sure that light was green. It's like, I'm like at least a little bit maybe positive that light was green.
That light was only a little bit darker than yellow.
Maybe.
It was in the transition phase. No, it's his whole ordeal. I remember he used to try to ride down Highway 13 on his bike. What a stupid idea. People,
I used to
first
do
off,
that.
They're not paying attention on Highway 13. Nobody's paying attention. If you're on the road, not on the side of the road, the people are like this.
And besides, the guys do a $1.90 on their
And
phone.
someone's like, Someone said he could feel the wind pressure of the millimeters of their rearview mirrors, just like scraping off his facial hair.
That's nothing
And then me
compared
and
to
Micah would make it worse.
lane splitting in Cali.
Oh yeah,
Dude,
obviously,
I
but
wish
Micah,
all
while he
states
rolling.
that was legal, and I don't know why it's like.
I
think
agree.
it's only legal in California, if I'm not mistaken.
It is.
But the
Like you wouldn't
stipulations
think
are
that
weird.
from the most liberal state of all.
The
Well,
lane
yeah, it's like-
splitting
it's-
almost isn't worth it because just of how like you can only use it if traffic is moving less than 30 miles per hour and
but
you
it's
don't
always
exceed
moving
30.
less than 30 miles an hour in LA. So
but it also has to be between the main lanes and the HOV lane.
Oh,
So
really?
you can't lane split
where
in
it's a
any
little
other
bit
lane.
wider. Gotcha.
But
Well, that's annoying.
filtering is the useful thing that California allows that nowhere else allows.
What's
'Cause
What is
filtering?
that?
It's where you can pull up to a stoplight and then pull in between the cars to get to the front of the stoplight. That improves safety by a lot.
Yep.
I felt so much more safe when I was there.
Oh yeah, between two cars, instead of hoping somebody sees your little motorcycle parked behind a
No, the
F
worst part.
350.
The worst part is
And you
sitting
can get
behind
in
a
front of
truck and
every
you haven't
single
moved,
light.
and
Yeah.
there's a semi trying to slow down like on a downhill, and he's got a full load. You're like, how good are your brakes, brother?
Oh yeah,
I'm ready to
I'm
get the hell
always
outta here.
watching people in my mirror just coming up to me like, well, they're coming a little fast. Hopefully,
Yeah.
hopefully they don't hit me.
Same boat.
Cars and bikes.
I think
Well-
of all the I don't think it's probably 43rd or 4070, 43rd. What is it? 4060?
43rd, 43rd, 4070. What are you saying?
Did y'all watch the
Ladies and gentlemen, good night.
This is the math portion of our podcast.
Did y'all watch my intro that I did on the last podcast where I was trying to spell who? that wasn't a bit. That was me legitimately forgetting how to spell who.
I don't remember that. I watched the episode, but I don't remember that portion.
The editing for that episode is far better than our usual.
Well, it was only half of what it was supposed to be because DaVinci Resolve locked down and kicked me out completely. And I had to reinstall it completely, and I lost all of my footage. I had a whole thing done with Kanye West being Elmo, and then he was gonna break into he did break into my house, and he then was talking to me about buying a Mr. Kiss grinder. And then when I refused to give it to him because he was asking for a Mr. Kiss grinder that was 6 feet tall that he could grind meat with, and I gave him a German accent and everything. It was perfect. And then he takes off his helmet or his mask, and it's Elmo.
Dude, you need to
You gotta
recreate
go
this.
back and make this.
You gotta
You gotta
recreate
go
this,
back.
bro. You
I
have
can
to.
make some green screen magic. If you want me to put something in there, bro, I got everything.
You don't even need a green screen. You can use the backdrop filter.
Yeah, you can do like cutouts, but I'm saying if you want me to add something, bro, I got the whole collection in that room right there.
Yeah.
That's my
I need to just make one. I'm moving out of this apartment in March, so I'll hopefully have more room to make a studio.
Oh, speaking of apartments, I'm not in my apartment. As people probably
No.
noticed for this
No
whole
way.
episode.
Where's your paintings, bro? Where's your room?
Actually, no, this is I just did some renovations. I didn't ask for permission. I'm
got
asking
the
for
wall out.
forgiveness. That window, it's
I put
all
a window.
TVs.
Yeah, the window doesn't even look outside. It just looks into the kitchen.
No, it's into the hallway. It's into the apartment hallway.
I don't want to have that. I want to have a window in my game room towards the outside. If someone wants to see what I'm doing, I just close the blinds on them.
You get one-way
Yeah,
glass.
that window right there. Ah,
Oh yeah.
you know where that leads? That leads into my garage.
Does it? No, it doesn't.
Hell no.
All the windows are on the inside facing in. There are no windows looking out. It's just like a Mormon church.
Hell yeah.
You have a window
No,
from
my
your
house
bedroom
is built
to
like
your
an
living room.
ironclad. My house is concrete that's lined up like this, and then there's like a
Mm.
little chimney on top, and that's layered and stacked. So if a nuclear blast were to come through, it'd ricochet off my house.
Ooh, I have
Really
a topic
HOA
for
hates
us.
me. Oh please.
Send it.
What religion do you think has the highest body count?
Catholicism easily.
Christians.
Yeah.
You think Christians have more than Jews?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well,
Catholicism.
you think Catholicism specifically because of all their priests? Yeah, that's a fair point.
All the Crusades, I would say, are the most.
Are we talking about
kills.
killing? Are we talking
Yeah.
about fucking?
No, killing.
Oh.
Austin's like, yeah, those priests will get some bodies.
Priest Austin just immediately went to the Catholic priest. All those priests.
Yeah, in that case, it's probably definitely the Catholicism or did Mongolians have a religion?
Yeah.
But they didn't kill because of their religion. They were killed because they wanted to. Noah's saying how many people killed because of their religion? Like all the Catholics, they had the Crusades. And those Crusades, like hundreds of thousands of people died. So I would say there were several Crusades.
Do you think it's more than our wars in the Middle East in the sandbox, though? Because that was basically a religious war.
I think the total. I think the total number for civilians killed in both wars was just over 1 million.
Well, that's
by
just
the U.S.
civilians. That's just civilians, though.
Yeah,
that's not combatants.
Especially for a country that didn't actually attack us. It's just
crazy.
Well, no,
Iraq?
they actually did attack us. If you remember, unless you think that was an inside job.
I'm not saying
that. I'm saying that it was Saudi Arabia because it was Saudi Arabia. It had nothing to do with Iraq or Afghanistan.
It was the Taliban, and they were all over the place.
It wasn't even the Taliban.
George Bush.
Yeah. It was
good old JB. He's not even the president anymore, so I can't get in trouble.
It's definitely not JB. It's definitely GB.
Even worse, he gives me the
George Bush.
He gives me the
Jeffrey Bush.
I'm pretty sure it's GB. Now I'm like gaslighting myself.
It is GB.
It's George W.
It's okay.
B.
You know, I'm into the PB. Peanut butter.
The PB and J. The PB and G, peanut butter and George.
Go ahead and put a picture of that right here.
Peanut butter. Put a picture of peanut butter and George Bush right next to each other, and then find a way to combine them two into a fusion.
Oh, Canva is perfect for this. I can make a peanut butter and George, no problem.
I'm gonna look at this. I'm just gonna look up peanut butter George Bush.
Get his signature squinting eyes, like the sun's too bright wherever he goes. Look, the classic. I feel like Biden has that too.
Funniest
It
president
must be related.
in the past 40 years.
I'll tell you mine.
Joe Biden.
Joe Biden, you think?
Well,
I like it when the kids touch my legs in the pool.
Joe Biden's a meme. Trump was a meme.
That's a Catholic priest.
But I think Obama was actually funny. That man had a lot of charisma.
He was very charismatic. But I'm saying, like, just straight up funny.
But he was also funny. He made some good jokes. You need to watch him on Between Two Ferns if you haven't seen that shit.
Oh,
yeah, he was like legitimately funny, but not.
And
like...
then he had Keegan from Peele do his anger interpretator. Yeah. That shit was so fucking.
But
that
wasn't done with Obama though. That was done I think it was in post. I don't think Obama
like post presidency.
For that. No, like I think they did it as like a post production, like green screen him behind Obama.
No.
It was
that was all real.
Yeah,
that was all
really?
real. Yeah, that was 100% real. I can't remember what that was for, but it was it was all senators, congressmen, politicians, big.
Yeah, it was for a big dinner.
Yeah, it was something important. I don't know, probably not really important, but people act like it.
Speaking of important people all gathering together, the World Economic Forum is in session right now. And there's some weird people. I'm talking, there was a video that I saw. They're all sitting there watching some performance, and it's some woman. I'll put a video up of it on the screen. But it's just some woman going, and then the dude just like playing a guitar, but it's not in sync at all. Like the dude's just doing his own thing, and she's just doing her own thing. They're the only two on the stage. There's no production, no nothing. And then everyone in the crowd is just like,
This is fake news, bro. This has to be fake news. This has to be somebody bidding those two and then getting a reaction from some emotional speech. This can't be real.
It's the World Economic Forum, dude. They don't make
You think I
any
could qualify
sense.
for that?
Yeah, I think
I'm going to next year's World Economic Forum, baby. Allow me to interpret dance.
you just have to like date Greta Thunberg or something.
I guess she's 19 now.
Is she legal?
Yeah, with all her shit and Andrew Tate. Apparently
Greta,
she's because he said she just wants to fuck. She's just not ready for it yet, or something like that. And then she fired back and roasted him, and then he got arrested. But not because she was underage.
Of her getting arrested.
No,
The police like stopped to do a photo shoot and everything, and they're like not even holding on to her, and then she was released the following day.
I didn't see that shit.
Oh my god, it
I
so
remember-
stupid.
I saw the pictures of her being carried out of a riot.
That was fake too. The whole thing was fake.
Nice.
I don't even know
You
what
think
this
I care?
is.
No, look at my eyes.
You should care. These are your overlords.
Yeah,
How many overlords do I have?
All of them.
like 13.
I have 2. You guys.
Yes.
Sweet Life on deck.
Do it. Execute
Yeah.
Order 66.
Just wait until I'm the dictator of America. This place will be.
That's actually, I think, what we need. I think we need someone who is going to completely stomp out these bankers and their
No, I'm not
long-term
talking
strategy.
about bankers. I'm talking about. I'm going to completely take away the debt system and go back to.
So you're gonna stop people from dying? Did you say death
So
or
you're
debt?
gonna-
Now I think you said
Debt.
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 Once
We're gonna
I
up
said
the
that
debt.
out loud.
completely get rid of the
debt
U.S.
system.
dollar.
Yes.
You're going to burn everyone's dollars.
Yes.
It's
What
gonna
are
be
you gonna
crypto.
replace
this
it
year.
with?
Surprise! No
That's
value
good.
in the dollar.
I'll be a millionaire with all my crypto investments.
Crypto investments will probably drop faster than the dollar will. I'm gonna be honest. If the dollar's worth nothing, they're just gonna go. Thank God I have my Bitcoin.
Yeah, because
Let
there
me go buy
will be
something
nothing
in
to exchange
Bitcoin.
it for. But then Bitcoin
Yeah.
might actually go through the roof in value because everyone will be trying to get something that they can pay with.
Mm-hmm.
Well, good luck to somebody else. Because like, what are they? When are they gonna? When do
Dude,
you not Bitcoin? Like you
Dude.
go, hey, I'm gonna
it's gonna be
take
used.
this Bitcoin.
Did y'all
I'm
see
gonna-
that this country is already starting to import its entire governmental system, its entire country into the metaverse? It's I think it's Tuvalu. Tuvalu is a country and it's supposed to be underwater, and I don't know how long, 10 years, 20 years, 50 years, but it's supposed to be completely underwater in an X amount of time. So they already have started importing themselves into the metaverse.
What are they going to do?
As
Just
a country.
drown and hope that they survive as they're like in the metaverse?
I don't know where their population's going to relocate to, but they're basing their whole country in the metaverse. Though I'm sure they're going to have to live somewhere else on land, obviously, but they're still going to be.
So do I still have to pay
a nation?
What do you say? Tuvalu?
I think it's Tuvalu.
I have to pay Tuvalu taxes and Romania taxes.
Probably not. I'm sure their government's going to sign some treaty with some other island.
Yeah.
That they'll-
Come to America. Well, you can.
God
not pay
forbid you
taxes.
just move.
Yeah. God forbid I go pay.
Yeah,
the
but they
IRS
want to
and,
maintain their country and their culture and their history. So that's
Well, you
another
know
reason why
what
they're
that
doing it.
leaves? Russia
What?
sells a lot of weapons to a lot of people. You buy some of those weapons, and then
What?
you move onto a different island, and you smoke the inhabitants of that island, and you move on to theirs.
I think their culture
the
is
American
pretty
way?
centralized around peace and love and tranquility.
Well,
and-
then they deserve to
So is
die
the American
in the water.
spirit, bro.
They deserve
Oh,
to
yeah.
drown.
I guess they're gonna drown
If you're
them.
so bad at surviving that you can't figure out a way to survive, then just die.
to stop sea
Like, it's
levels rising.
that simple. Yeah. Do you think the U.S. if the U.S. was about to go underwater, let's say we'll do something ridiculous 1 month. You think the entire population of the U.S. wouldn't be
Hey,
moved to like Europe?
Canada's looking pretty nice right now.
Yeah, we would definitely be going to Canada
Yeah,
or
something.
just higher
It's
elevation.
like-
We have
It'd
a
be
lot of
America,
high
too.
elevation in
well,
America.
it wouldn't even be that. It'd just be the U.S. would do anything to survive. Anything.
Well, I tell you what, Elon would definitely get a lot more government funding to send us to Mars.
We'll just have America.
I mean,
supreme.
okay, so
Well, Ohio.
during the Gulf War, okay, so Saddam, no, it wasn't Saddam. There was a bunker that was underground by like 300 meters or something, like a ridiculous depth. And the U.S. had no way to get to it, so they contacted Lockheed Martin, And they were like, hey, we need a bomb. We need to get it in this hole. 300 meters. You have 4 days. And they were like, fam, no problem.
We already
know who
got
we
it.
are?
So they designed a massive bunker buster bomb, which is now known as a JBU-25, I think. The JDAM.
I don't know, man. I've never heard of it.
The JDAM was designed in 4 days and fielded in 4 days.
So JDAMs now are just, you can have any type of JDAM, striking JDAMs, whatever. The one you're talking about is the
GBU-40,
the one that
the 25.
it looks like it's the GBU something, like it's like a GBU 62, whatever it is. It hits the ground and it makes the ground look like water. Like it just goes,
Yeah.
And you're like, that bomb just disappeared. And you see the whole ground just.
It was designed in 4 days. You think that the United States couldn't, like, find a way to survive if we were about to go underwater in, like, what, 10 years? All of Europe would be ours. It would be no competition.
I doubt we'd
ladies
go
and
that
gentlemen.
route. We would probably
Probably
I
Africa.
don't know. We'd probably ship all the seawater to outer space or something. We'd build a giant straw. We would siphon it
Oh, here's an
to Jupiter.
argument. Here's something kind of cool. I actually watched a video about this. If you got a giant straw
Oh yeah, I
and
know.
you stuck it in the ocean and you put the other end in space, what would happen?
Oh, I feel like the straw would collapse in on itself.
Okay, it's
I feel like
indestructible
nothing would
straw.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like nothing would happen because let's say you had enough power to start sucking and getting that water up into space. Even though there is no space is at like a perfect zero for pressure.
Yeah, it's a perfect vacuum.
So
Or not a perfect,
well,
but it's close
not
to
a vacuum. It's not a vacuum technically. It's just
Yes, it is a
completely
vacuum.
unpressurized.
it is a vacuum.
It's exactly
Is it have
what a
less than
vacuum
zero
is.
pressure? I thought vacuum it needs to be less than zero, and then
No.
No, vacuum
Like less than
vacuum's
equal, like, so-
zero. So space
so-
is
yeah.
certain parts of space aren't a perfect vacuum, but there's depending on where you go, how far away you get from gravity and particles and stuff, it's near zero. I think,
so,
from my understanding.
yeah.
that's what I'm
A
saying,
vac-
but it's not a negative.
No.
No,
I
so
don't think
South,
you can.
what you're thinking
You can have
of-
negative pressure. That's what
Yeah.
you're thinking
I'm
of.
thinking about if you were to measure space in inches of mercury, how many inches of mercury would it be?
What?
Is that how it's measured?
like
When you
a
measure
barometer?
vacuum.
I think
No, think about this.
that's for heat,
How
my
much
brother.
Richter scale
Think-
is space?
Think about this. No, so think about this. When you measure like vacuum, so like suction, like you could, let's say you're measuring your own suction, your vacuum.
Barometer
Like, you
is
get a
for
straw and you go-
overpressure more than Earth's atmosphere. So
you look
one
down.
one
So think
atmospheric
about
unit.
This is what I'm talking about. Let's say you have mercury in a straw, and you're sucking up as hard as you can, seeing how far that mercury will travel before you can no longer pull it. That's your inches
Yeah.
of mercury. Like cars. That's
Well,
how we measure vacuum.
Space
Gotcha.
is an infinite vacuum, pretty much, at least in relation to
So-
our ocean.
What I think there was a Vsauce video about this. Is that am I
Yes.
correct? But
We
I
need
don't
the
I don't
spec- I'll look up
remember
the
it.
specs. I'll look up the specs, 'cause-
Vsauce was one of those channels that I found like 10 years ago and just binged the shit
Hey,
out of. 'cause it's
Vsauce.
awesome.
Michael here.
Michael
do you,
here?
Do you hate women too?
So look, this is our equation. Let's get back to the equation. So if let's say your straw was invincible and it was how wide is the straw? Like a
I
McDonald's?
don't know. Let's
straw?
say like 4 meters.
Yeah.
4-meter wide straw.
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess the vacuum would have to overcome the amount of water weight to get.
But it's a practically infinite
320,000
vacuum.
feet. Well, I don't think.
So by
I got to see if there's a measurement for it. Now I got to look this up.
So
Now I'm
what
actually
what
intrigued.
is the answer? Because there is a
there's an
scientific
answer. There's an answer, and it's really simple.
I feel like it goes up, but it does not escape. The water goes up, but it doesn't escape the atmosphere.
No, the water doesn't go up at all.
It doesn't go up at all.
Nope.
This better not be a fact you learned from like freaking.
Why doesn't? Do you remember
his
why
name?
it doesn't go up?
Okay, so you think about it. You put a giant straw in the ocean. There's still atmosphere inside the straw, right?
Yeah.
So the pressure of gravity is still pulling down on the atmosphere within the straw. So it's no different as if there was no straw at all. Otherwise, all of our water would just fly off into
That
space.
makes sense. But what if the inside the straw was also a vacuum?
Then it would be part of
No,
space.
think about this. This is what I
Yeah.
was saying. If you're saying it's pulling a vacuum, let's say you put a pump at the top of the straw. The pump is pulling 2.5 trillion inches of mercury or whatever measurement you want to do, it would start pulling that water up into space. And that's all I'm saying. How much does space? Is space a zero vacuum? Like
well, at that point, if there's a pump, then it's on the power of the pump to pull the water.
That's what I'm saying, though. It's the same thing of like.
But a vacuum is different. It's an instant siphon. So the pressure is infinite, technically, by relation to the water in the ocean.
Interesting.
But if there's no atmosphere in the tube, and the tube itself is a perfect vacuum, and there's no end to the reservoir that would be taking on the water of the ocean, that being space, I'm pretty sure it would just suck it all into space.
Yeah. I wonder if you actually did that, if it would freeze and clog it up.
I don't think. Well, it may, but I don't. I think it would be moving quite quickly. It would eventually.
I think it would be moving quickly enough. But I mean, space is pretty cold depending on where you're at.
Yeah, but also friction and like stuff like that. Like, it would be very difficult, especially if the water reached like terminal velocity or something. I don't know. Reverse velocity.
It probably could.
That is wild. Now I'm thinking about that because I'm like, technically there's nothing in there, so yeah. It's like
Vsauce has some of the best videos on YouTube, and you can just have your mind blown.
Yeah, I really want to like smoke weed and watch his shit or do acid or something.
Oh, bro, dude.
What if we all did like mushrooms and sat on the couch just watch Vsauce?
We definitely
That'll
should.
never happen. That'll never happen.
Salas and his.
If you're gonna have a physique like this, you can't resort to drugs.
Not drug. It's a psychedelic.
Some of the best. Who was he? I was watching him on Two Bears in One Cave.
Joe Rogan does drugs, and he looks fantastic.
Yeah. He has this PhD. He's really famous now. I can't remember his name.
Is that the guy who was advocating for ashwagandha?
Maybe. I'm not quite sure, but he's pretty renowned, and he talks about like the benefits and unbenefits of, or disbenefits of like weed and tobacco.
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
He's a big advocate for getting out in the sun every morning and getting 10 minutes of sunlight in your eyes.
Oh, yeah.
And not taking caffeine for 90 minutes when you wake up.
Yeah. He's a big proponent of psychedelics to go into it with intention and get through or work through some things or have an experience from it. I think he did MDMA mostly, actually.
I feel like experience. Every single person that has done psychedelics healthfully says it's a fantastic experience and it allows you to have a bit of an awakening.
Yeah.
But then people like someone we know who takes psychedelics and then goes absolutely bonkers and starts telling people that she wants them to have her babies and that Jesus Christ told her that she was the next Mary.
Do I know this person?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I know this.
There is that, but I feel like you have to, one, be intelligent, and two, have the right headspace for that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah,
I haven't done any
psychedelics.
Sitter. Yeah, I mean that's probably important too. Like there's services you can pay for. I'm sure they're not legal, but I'm sure they still make money.
If someone's going to suck you off while you're on mushrooms,
no, I don't think it's
impossible to go into a bad headspace. I'm sure
there are sexual experiences that you can get from that.
That was a pretty good trip, my boy.
I don't think that would be the point of doing that kind of stuff.
There was the Forehead Fables, which is my favorite podcast. Shout out to Forehead Fables. You can look them up on YouTube at foreheadfables.com. You can also slash.
Our collab is coming next week.
Yeah, and then you can also find them on Spotify. That's where I prefer to listen to them because they're all a bunch of ugly motherfuckers.
Speaking of which, you can find us on all those platforms too.
Yes, we're also on Spotify, even though Silas has neglected to post the last like 3 episodes on Spotify. So
we're still over there. Go catch up on a different platform.
Working hard or working hard?
But they took a bunch of mushrooms and they went out in the middle of the woods of Idaho and went hiking.
That's vile.
That sounds like a horror movie waiting to happen.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. They just laughed the whole time, but you know.
Yeah, it would be fun.
I wish I was there. I'd be like, is that a skinwalker? They're just.
So I have seen some very bad trips from people, and this one guy that we had was, I can't remember if it was acid, LSD, it was something like that, and he was tripping with his 3 friends or his 2 friends, and his one friend started stabbing his friend and stabbed him to death, and then this guy stabbed the friend who was stabbing the friend to death. And so he was the only one who survived.
Stab
It's just a fever dream for him. I've never seen somebody so disassociated from reality than him. You would just have to talk to him after he got confined because it was crazy. He was not a person.
Can you be confined for that kind of stuff?
For drugs in the military? Yeah. For killing somebody? Yeah. He killed somebody.
I'm thinking like on a jury standpoint, if he was protecting his friend.
Well, he was
obviously mentally unwell afterward.
So he killed somebody, and two, it's the military, so any officer can confine him, or field grade officer. I can't remember. Can confine him for anything. Yeah, in military you can get confined for disrespecting an NCO. Like you can get confined for that. Or 134.
If I'm getting confined for disrespecting an NCO, I'm gonna like.
It just depends. If your officer, if an officer wants to confine you, they can. But you'll be on pretrial, and then you'll have to go to an IRO, which is initial reviewing officer, and then you can get released from that. But you can still get confined for X amount of time, regardless. You can get confined for X amount of time for anything, and it's over 48 hours. It's not like the civilian world.
Have fun in jail, bitch.
I just don't want anything ever that could affect my brain. That's why I've never been drunk before.
Dang, man.
You've never been drunk? The drunk doesn't affect your brain. It affects your liver.
Well,
yeah, if you're good at it.
It affects your judgment. Same with like smoking. I've been offered to smoke like weed and stuff several times. I'm like, nah. I don't want any situation where someone could ever take advantage of me.
I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be taken. I don't think drunk is that serious.
Half the people I know, either they're just making excuses, say, "Oh yeah, man, I was drunk." You know, when they're talking about things they regret.
They're weak. They're weak people.
Well, who knows what I am? I don't want to find out.
Test.
I just never take anything that's.
Don't refrain from putting yourself in stressful situations.
I'd have to be around somebody for me to test something like that. I'd have to be in a perfect situation with people I trust.
Absolutely.
No one on
you don't want to be drunk with people you don't trust. Period.
Exactly.
That's why I don't get drunk at bars, like at all. Oh, there's a child in my room. I saw the shadow on the door. I would shit myself if I hadn't seen that.
Skywalker!
Damon!
Season's greeting.
It's somebody's birthday is today. Come on.
Is it really his birthday?
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
Damon, wave to your uncle. Wave to your best uncle.
Wave to your real favorite uncle, a.k.a. your second cousin.
Damon, who do you like more, Uncle Silas or your father?
Happy birthday to you.
Oh my God. All right, last topic of the evening. Rick and Morty is officially gone.
What?
The main character who voices every character.
Oh, I saw a headline for that. So Rick and Morty fired Justin Roiland, but I don't know anything about it.
He didn't just get fired. He got arrested. He's gone.
For what? Drugs?
Several felonies. So he's got abusing his wife, hospitalizing his wife from the abuse. It's called unlawful imprisonment, which means he basically kidnapped her.
Mm-hmm.
So he locked her in the house or something, locked her in the basement. So it's pretty much as, like, I was reading the report, it was pretty much as bad as it could be.
So what did he do wrong?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Let the man cook.
Let him cook, boys. Let him cook.
Let him cook. When I saw it, I was like, damn, that dude making a show like that show's already cracked out. I'm not surprised the dude's cracked as well.
Did you play that High for Life game?
No, I've watched stuff on it. It looks funny as hell. But.
Yeah, I don't know. I've heard mixed reviews, but something that was on my radar and then I forgot about it.
Well, it's free if you have an Xbox or a PC. So.
Well, you probably have to have the Game Pass, which I don't know if I don't think I'm paying for it. The Game Pass. I think I have a free Game Pass I can redeem.
If you have an Xbox or a PC and you don't have Game Pass, you're vile. You have every game on the planet with, for like $10, $15 a month. And that's nothing.
Yeah, no, it's nice. You're not wrong. But you don't get a lot of new titles. I feel like.
Yeah, you do.
You don't get AAA games.
Everything made by with Microsoft's hand is free, no matter what. If it comes straight out, like Starfield, when it comes out, it's gonna be free.
Well, what about like COD?
Oh, COD. No, COD's nasty. I'll never play a COD game again.
It's fun, man. That's just like you just get on with the boys and have a good time.
Oh yeah. You gotta have friends though.
That's all I do it for. I was playing Overwatch 2 actually with the boys the other day.
With Evan?
No, with my buddy. My buddy Seth.
You'd make Evan's whole week if you played Overwatch with him.
Is he still
I should
playing
jump on with
Overwatch?
him. No, I was saying I played it the other day and it was fun. I just hopped on.
Are we
with
still
some
recording?
Yeah, it
friends.
wasn't bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We only got a few minutes left. What time are y'all at?
I don't know.
I'm at 105.
Oh yeah,
We're at
we've
that
hoofed our
perfect
last
time.
half.
How do people do 3-hour podcasts?
You
entertaining, bro.
have better people on the podcast than us.
You got better people than us on the pod. That's exactly how they do it. Oldest
Yeah.
chick-
What do you mean? I have a Joe Rogan doesn't have a galaxy in his back.
Why
Well,
does he have this wizard hat, bro?
Yeah, or
but
his
he has Neil
Imperial
deGrasse
rank.
Tyson to explain the galaxy. to him.
Okay. Speaking of Neil
I
deGrasse
despise Neil
Tyson,
deGrasse Tyson.
I would never sit in a room with him. Period.
Why? I would
He-
love to. He's one of the people I want to like. If I could go with 5 gentlemen to go
If
play
I
golf
could
with,
go
he would be
li-
one of them.
No. If I could go listen to him in a seminar setting where I didn't have to speak to him, that would be amazing. But the second you have to talk to him,
Cuts herself off. Like 65
yeah,
times.
he views humans as dirt. I guaranteed.
He is. I don't care. He's a human. If he wants to view humans as dirt, that's fine with
No,
me.
have you ever watched him in a podcast setting?
All the time, man.
He doesn't let
he's
people
very
talk.
talkative. Yeah, he's very. I think I talked about that on the last podcast. Was it the last one? Or the one before that? I think I
it was
brought
one
that
of
up.
them, yeah.
But so the way I do it. So this is a good question. The 5 people you'd go play golf with. You take 5 gentlemen. You know celebrities. For me, it's like Neil deGrasse Tyson. It's Kevin Hart and Will Ferrell. I want Shaquille O'Neal on there. And who else did I want?
You're not
Most of-
dreaming big enough.
Okay,
I want
fine.
Jesus Christ.
Fine. I want
Adolf Hitler.
I want one of the
I want us to have a
Rothschilds
good
children
discussion.
on there. I guess.
I want
Joseph
Adolf
Stalin.
Hitler, Joseph Stalin, Kim Jong Un, Donald
Well-
Trump, and Andrew Tate.
Well, I was talking mostly
I
about
want Jesus
living
in there, though. I
people,
want Jesus
but
in
if
there
you
to give
wanna
us
do that
the.
Yeah, and
want
Jesus Christ,
Jesus?
of course.
too. You want to ask him to do one of his magic tricks?
My Lord, would you please hit the ball? Jesus Christ heads up to the green. That's a hell of a drive. I mean, that's a heaven of a drive. Jesus just looks over.
That's a heaven of a drive, son.
You better
Do you
watch
know
your
how
words,
many
brother, before
people
you eat
I've
them.
killed?
Jesus, do you have anything to say about the millions of people that have died in your name?
So, Silas, which 5 people would you take, and then we'll close this out?
Oh, okay. So I'd want a good conversation. And
Yeah.
this is assuming we aren't all trying to kill each other. I want Jesus Christ, Adolf Hitler, Saddam Hussein, who
Kim
else
Jong
is
Un.
really-
Kim Jong Un.
No,
Stalin.
No, he's
Yeah,
Kim Jong-un's
we,
an absolute
we
fraud.
probably wouldn't be able to understand him.
yeah. I need some people that are very colorful and very. I don't want to use the word misunderstood.
Oh, my other one was Joe Rogan. Because you really need a facilitator for that kind of
Put
shit.
Hitler and misunderstood in the same sentence in today's world.
I'll be right next to Kanye and Elmo.
Kanye, there you go.
It's
Who's
Elmo.
this wizard-looking dude?
It was him the whole time.
No, that's not what I was saying. I'm not saying he's misunderstood. I'm saying I want people that you don't exactly understand. Because people talk about what was Hitler's motive. He was probably a psychopath.
I want people
I
that
think he wasn't even a
you want,
psychopath.
like,
He just went on
Plato
drugs
or
and lost his
Aristotle or
mind.
somebody like that. Like Plato talking about the city of
No, I was
Atlantis
trying to
and
advocate
shit.
for drugs, and then 7 million Jews later.
I mean, speed is different. If you go on speed, you're doomed.
You need one of the Egyptian pharaohs to tell you how they built
Oh,
that
Cleopatra. Apparently, she gave.
shit. Well, I specifically
Guys,
said all
this is
men
for the
because
next
otherwise
episode.
you'd obviously just pick like bibs.
I want Cleopatra because when Julius Caesar went to
golden
Egypt,
mouth,
she
bro.
rolled herself. Yeah, the golden mouth. She rolled herself up in a carpet and had herself unrolled at Caesar's feet naked.
It's pretty sexy.
That's a
hot.
power move right there.
Oh yeah, it is. That's big
imagine?
clit energy.
Can you imagine? You walk in, there's like a big ass carpet, they lay her down, they unroll it, and then you're just laying there.
Yeah, you're just.
So, he's like, I'm surprisingly hard right now.
You know what? I'm not invading Egypt anymore.
Hey, you got the W, I guess. It shows how powerful women really are.
Yeah, if they utilize their strength, of like a feminist would have walked in there and gotten all of her people killed.
Well, for the most part, we managed to do a whole podcast, a parent-friendly podcast until the end. Silas, I think it's time to take it away and close this out.
Let me straighten my hat.
It's a good thing only like 3% of our viewers stay till the end of the podcast.
Exactly.
Thank you guys
Yeah,
so much
if
for
you
watching.
stayed to the end of the
actually did.
podcast, go ahead and leave a comment for us. And tell
If you're
us.
wondering why I use language on this channel and I also say controversial things, it's because I don't actually mean any of it. It's all satire. It's all joking. And if these clips resurface at some point to try to bring me down, just remember, it's out of context.
When I'm your
if you get
dictator
the
and these
context-
clips come back up, I'm just gonna put you in
If
prison.
you had the
anyway.
context, it'd probably be in worse. It'd probably be worse anyway.
Just know that.
Just take the clip with
just
a grain
know
of
that
salt.
as racist as we are, somebody else is more racist.
That's not a good way to look at it.
I
Thank
mean-
you guys so much for watching. Go follow me, Silopathic. We have a PG-friendly channel.
Shameless plug.
Bad time for a plug.
It's actually much more respectful. That's how I genuinely am on my YouTube channel. Here, I'm just leading these boys to victory and glory.
Well, you
Go to
know,
Mr.
and
Kiss on Amazon.
Put one of your
Get some
edits in
herbal
here at the
grinders.
end.
Yeah.
We'll make it happen.
So send me
I'm
a
gonna
cool
go pay enough for
edit
that.
for an outro.
Hell yeah.
All right, gentlemen.
My other outro took 5 hours, right?
Easy.
Easy dub. All right, guys. Thank you so much.
Blah, 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 blah. Thank you guys for watching. This has been the Brown Nosed Podcast, and we'll see y'all next week.
Outro music.